everybody, welcome back here. We're here to look at AMD fluid motion frames. So we're gonna look at this little thing here. Enhances performance by utilizing frame generation technology to increase FPS beyond the in-game limit, resulting in a smoother experience. AMD fluid motion frames, AFMF, is exclusively supported in full-screen games running on DirectX 11 or DirectX 12 with VSync disabled. So, what does that mean? This is not just FSR 3. This is not DLSS 3. This is more on a driver level thing of like, hey, we see this game, we're gonna look at it and then decide where to put frames. With DLSS, FSR, and Iris. It's Iris? Is it Iris? The Intel one. Those are all kind of in the engine of a game. They're all software based. And so this is more of like a kind of a skeleton key to unlock more frames to a bunch of games over the past several years that work. But the caveat is DirectX 11 and 12, VSync off, and then full screen. So I've tried to do this with 2 games, and I've actually had really good experience. It was when I first looked at this, I looked at Starfield, and I'm like, wow, this is actually a pretty good experience. I'm actually really blown away by this, how going through Aquila, and even with a huge 7900 XTX, it just chugs a little bit going through. It's just like, boom, boom, feel like you're going off-roading. But with this, it was a lot smoother. So what this is not just FSR 3.0. It's hard. So right now we're gonna run the benchmark with it off to show you something that needs to be explained on what's going on. So we do have it off, the AMD, and then to really do kind of like the basics are off. We'll go to performance and we will run the benchmark. I like the Forza Motorsport benchmark because this game is really intense. This is probably the most intense game I've had in a very long time. Even with my powerful computer, it's still such a shitty optimized game. But one thing you need to know is that the fluid frames are kind of not rendered in game. So we can see that it's running, let's say 90 FPS right now. AMD is saying about 93, 95, because it's updating every second. And then we have like a 99 percentile of like 60 to 80. That's your lows. So we achieved a 98. I do find it fascinating. I've been doing different takes at this game and finding different FPS. So we're setting a baseline because I am recording this, and I wanted to show you that the pretty similar to the AMD over here on the left here it's very similar. So what you do next is you just go to gaming, and then of course your game will be here. So you don't have to do anything else. A lot of people have said that you might have to like turn on the like the HyperX. Yeah, no, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You just go to your game right here. Then you scroll down to your AMD, toggle that. It also automatically enables anti-lag, which is a compensator because again, it is inducing more lag into the system. We're talking about like tens of millions of a second, 10 millisecond to 18. So we will go back here and let's go with the performance. And so what we need to be looking at is this number right here. It shows up here, yeah? Yeah, this number right here. And then when we get to the, when we start running, look at the number right here. They're going to be widely different. So let's reset the benchmark. So what it's doing is that with FSR 3 and DLSS 3, that's frame generation on the kind of the software end. Like it's in, like the game is talking to the graphics card and saying, hey, I heard you have this, you know, what can we do with that? And the graphics are like, yeah, sure, this is what I do. And you get FPS boost. It's not like, it's, you know, FSR and DLSS are really different in how they do anything, but they're fundamentally trying to do the same thing. With the fluid animation, it is like, hey, it's like, okay, the graphics card's like, okay, I'm just gonna do this without any telling anybody. You know, I'm looking at these frames. I'm looking at these frames, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's add some frames here. Let's add some frames here. This frame, between this frame and this frame. Okay, I'm gonna draw this picture. There we go. Another frame. It's is exactly what it's doing. Of course, it's not doing it at my speed of like 1 frame a second. It is doing it super fast. So this is what that number, the other number is the latency that is induced by having the frame generation. But again, you saw those frame rates go up to almost 200 FPS. So what does that mean? And of course, we're down here, we see it's 91. So technically it did get a hit in FPS because the graphics card has to work more, and then when it works more, it induces more lag. So it's you're gonna get you're gonna get better frame rate, but then at a hit, it's hard to explain. But again, I have had a good experience with it on Forza Motorsport and on Starfield. I haven't really played any other games that really have a problem because I am working with a graphics card with 24 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah. But again, if you have a lower end computer, lower end graphics card, again, this is supposedly, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to work on the 6000 series and of course the 7000 series. This video was just brought up because somebody like, hey, do you know anything about this? And I'm like, yeah, I do. I'll make a video about it. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.